Whoa! The offset side track. Whoa! You know what? I'm gonna use one more life cycle. I just hydroplaned. Decent. Right there, I slipped. Come on! Go, 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 let's go.
Hello everyone, Climb the Grid here, and we are back with another round of the GT7 2026 Manufacturers Cup. And as you may know, I've competed the past 4 rounds, and the past 2 rounds haven't been going so well, but this one does start off with fire. I get a P3 qualifying. We have the first half of the race of just totally dry road, but the second half is rain. So we're gonna have to know our strategy well, and we can't mess up. Now, as you can see, my car is in P3, and I have a pretty happy reaction, we'll say that the least.
Woo! Come on.
So as you can see, I'm quite happy with my result. P3, this is my first time I've ever qualified on podium in a competition. But this also means that I am in front of some of the faster drivers, which means I'm going to have to keep up my pace, I'm going to have to use my defense well, and I'm going to have to make sure I nail my pit stops. So, lights out, here we go. Thankfully, this race is dry right now, and we have just a Corvette behind us. I'm just trying to make it through turn 1 safely. I do have to go a little on defense, but not quite much because this Corvette fails. He goes a little off track, loses traction. You can see him kind of slide off.
Survived turn
Now
1.
we have a decent gap built, but we have, I think, a Peugeot behind us, and we're going up Eau Rouge, which means I'm going to have to be faster up here, which the car behind is a little faster than me going up, but we maintain a gap. And then entering turn 2 of this track, and oh boy, we're already put on defense. And there's an Alfa Romeo that is behind me, not a Peugeot. But here we go. I'm trying to keep this, and oh boy, he's really catching up. I have to stay on defense. I'm trying to defend middle, but he's really hugging it. He does not want to give up this whatsoever.
Oh boy, this is tense. I'm already having to defend this guy. Whoa, no, dude. Feel like he should be
Penalized for that, because he pushed me off track, and he had space to turn.
Oh, he just got a penalty.
So as I'm trying to catch up to him, I'm starting to lose force feedback in my wheel as it's getting a little hot. He goes off track, and I think I'm able to get a little closer to him. He does get a penalty, he serves it, but I'm not still really quite able to get past him.
Stay off that side track.
Whoa, that's not good. I'm gonna have to let him pass. It's getting too slippery.
So yeah, that happened. I'm trying to get into the pits and hopefully just manage to climb back. I have wets on, hoping this is the correct idea.
No! Please don't.
I was very sad losing that position. I have to pit yet again, and I decided to go for intermediates because these wet tires are just not doing anything. I'm only losing time, and they aren't the greatest. And I managed to catch up a little. That Alfa Romeo leaves the thing, and I managed to go past that Porsche that just crashed into the barrier. There's a yellow flag up here, so I'm like, this is my chance to get back. Bam, we passed him. Right here, I try to make few overtakes from the pit lane.
You know what? I'm gonna use one more life cycle of these tires.
So as you can see, that last mistake did cost us a position, but this Ferrari's in front of us and he goes a little slower on entry into here. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to push outside, get a stable exit, but also be a little faster than him, which I do. I succeed in that and I gain the position. So now I'm in P8, but I have a Porsche to come up and catch.
I only have a 4-second gap, so if I can keep that gap decent. Right there, I slipped.
So there's a guy in the pit lane, which we overtake, and now we're back up in P7. So up Eau Rouge, and there's a Mustang off to the side who made a mistake. Now we're back in P6, trying to chase down this Porsche yet again, and he leaves, or he disconnects, one or the other. But now we are in the top 5 now. So we just have a McLaren to chase after, hopefully getting a P4, but he's not giving this up whatsoever, and he's fighting it really well. Like, I'm not side by side with him, but still, I'm having to, like, try and at least, like, get past him. Because if I'm close to him, he's still in a way where it's harder for me to overtake. So, hopefully, I get him later on in the race.
Oh boy, here we go.
Such a beautiful overtake, not really meaning much in the end because I did not fuel up my car enough for this. So I kind of made a big oopsie daisy. Now I have to wait the fuel up. I'm in the pit lane for quite a bit and this is gonna knock me down to P8 and P9 is gonna get within like a 10-second gap once I'm out, which means that the guy in front of me is likely gonna get near like the 5-second mark, but he's only like 4 seconds away from me. Up Eau Rouge, and there's a yellow flag. I think near turn 4 the Porsche may have made a mistake, which allows me to catch up, and now I'm past. I reclaim P7. Right here I go off track limits, and well, there goes my penalty-less race.
No!
Even though it didn't end off the way I wanted it to, the P7 still was a great position and the race itself was entertaining. But I decided to go for another race in case this time I can get my pit lane right. But we will find out in the next race. So on to race 2, and here's qualifying. That Porsche gets sent off into the Shadow Realm and I get P1 in the qualifying so far. So that means I have no traffic to be behind, and I set a 226 for the lap, or 225.9 to be specific, and I qualify P3 again, so this is really well so far. But that also means that I'm going to have to take in consideration about the weather and what will happen. So far, the track seems that it will be dry. So now what I have to worry about is keeping my position and not making really many mistakes at all. Now, I have raced 2 of those guys before, and then the Corvette is a guy I haven't raced before. But so far, we are in P3, and all we have to do is just defend well, keep the pace up, and make sure I do not mess up my qualifying again. So here we are, just before the start line with a Mercedes and a Porsche behind us. So off into turn 1, and we are already being forced on defense. I have to defend in turn 1. He goes for a switchback, and we are already side by side. This is very sketchy for me right now, and I am a little tense, but I'm just trying not to focus on him and just drive as I normally do. Up Eau Rouge, I'm a little faster than him, but I lose speed about halfway through, and he slipstreams me and goes right past, so we are already knocked back in P4. We have a Porsche behind us that we have to defend, because if we don't defend him, he will take my position, but he brakes a little early, and I managed to keep that going on in the turn 3, and now we just have to catch up to P3 and hope he can stick with him. Now, he makes a mistake by going off track right here, so that's nice to see. But I still have quite a bit to catch up. So we are just into the final little chicane, I think it is. And the Lambo receives a penalty, and that Mercedes is still getting a little farther. So I'm not able to catch up to him yet. We're already having a 7-second gap apart from us, and I have to pit. So I go in the pit, and I switch for mediums just to get better tires and to get a little more fuel so I can last. Out the pit lane, and I get overtaken. So I'm in P7, I go off the track, lose P8, and now I'm in P9. So now we are kind of on a situation where I have to send it. That BMW left, and I managed to make one overtake right there because someone was in the pit lane. I try to get into P5, but I'm not able to. These two guys were fast out of the pits. So now I am just trying to catch up to the guy in front of me, Diego. But he's already built 11-second gap between me, and I'm already having to defend that guy. But I have to pit because I mess up on my fuel once again. So I decided to switch my tires and just get 3 liters in. I probably could have saved more time if I didn't switch tires. But we're on defense on the Porsche from earlier, actually. And he's proving to be a little bit of a problem again. Like, I'm going to have to defend middle if I'm going to want to have chances on keeping this. But right here, I mess up, and I go a little too wide, and he manages to get the position. So, good on him for that. But I can still catch up. He's in front of me. We're still close, and I can slipstream him. So, I try and slipstream him. And then I'm trying to fight on the outside, since he's defending, like, close inside, so I'm just trying to stay on outside. But I push too much, go off track. So now we are off back into turn 1, and I try to make an overtake. Don't quite succeed just yet, but then he slows down, and I overtake him. And then I suddenly realize, wait, maybe he's going to try and slipstream me, and that's what he was doing. But he didn't end up doing that. But I still go wide again at this corner and off the track. And then I hit a wall. Yeah, like my hopes were killed right there. I was like, somehow just please yellow flag so I can catch up to him. It's final lap, I'm sending it, but I can't quite get to him. I messed up with hitting the wall, so I am ending P9 in the race. So yeah, I should not have risked that. This time I was 6 positions behind from where I started instead of 4. But you know what? The race was good. I learned some things. And we have 1 round left. Round 6 at Watkins Glen will ultimately prove if I stay in top 5. So that video will be out Sunday. There'll be 3 different parts because I did 3 races. And they're all really good. I recommend you watch it. But anyways, thank you all for watching. If you have any feedback, please put it in the comments. And God bless.